Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on KAJ, Montana's news leader.
U.S. Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl could spend the rest of his life behind bars after he pled guilty at a court-martial hearing to desertion and misbehavior before the enemy. The Army Sergeant left his base in Afghanistan in 2009 and was held prisoner by the Taliban until 2014. They released him in exchange for 5 detainees being held at Guantanamo Bay. Former President Barack Obama didn't grant a pardon for Bergdahl before leaving office, and he was tried by a military judge, not a jury, per his request. Secretary of Interior Ryan Zinke names new head of Bureau of Indian Affairs. Zinke named Brian Rice to head the agency. Rice is a citizen of the Cherokee Nation and recently helmed the Department of the Interior's Office's Wildland Fire. He had worked for the government for nearly 2 decades, starting as a member of the Helena Interagency Hotshots. According to a news release, his experience is in leading forestry, wildlife, and tribal programs in both the Department of Interior and Department of Agriculture, and has served in leadership roles in Tanzania, Mexico, Brazil, and Australia for both Interior and the U.S. Forest Service. The Bureau of Indian Affairs coordinates government-to-government relations with the 567 tribes recognized by the United States. Rice will oversee nearly 4,800 employees and a budget totaling $1.9 billion. A Montana wind power developer is suing state regulators and the state's largest electric utility, accusing them of using discriminatory price to kill independent renewable power projects. The lawsuit from wind developer Marty Wild and 3 associated companies says the State Public Service Commission and Northwestern Energy are working together to set unfairly low prices for independent wind power developers. The suit says that PSC has approved much higher rates for Northwestern-owned power while setting rates lower than the company pays to independent developers. It asked a judge to order the PSC and Northwestern to halt these allegedly illegal actions and pay damages to the companies. Northwestern Energy says it's not working to undermine renewable projects and notes that it has contacts with at least a dozen of them. A spokesperson for PSC also says it's misleading to compare what Northwestern gets for its power to the price paid to independent producers. Chris Puyer says the renewable power projects are paid based on the current projected market, which is much lower now.
What we're seeing today, at least in the West, is a market for electricity that's extremely oversupplied. In light of this environment of extremely oversupplied electricity prices, it simply might not be economical to build any project, whether it's wind or solar or gas.
The suit was filed last week in State District Court in Great Falls. Coming up after the break, what Kalispell health officials want you to know to avoid contracting the flu this year. And later in sports, a Grizz safety earns Player of the Week honors for an outstanding defensive effort on Saturday. Find out who after the break.